Hey everyone, Chris, Due Diligence Investors. We were looking at ticker symbol ACOL. We saw that on the end of day data at eoddata.com. If we find ticker symbol ACOL here, it was green on the day, closed high of the day on 8.9 million shares traded. Although it wasn't up much percentage wise, it's still up on a high volume. So let's look. We were looking at the chart here, and it looked like trades pretty narrow, which isn't as good as a steady uptrend, but much better than a steady downtrend also. And then it had this breakout here on a high volume day. So now we're going to dig in just a little bit deeper and see what might have caused that high volume day. And what we're going to do here is go to otcmarkets.com and we're going to type in ticker symbol ACOL. And first thing we notice here is that it was pink current information. We saw that when we typed in the ACOL. You see ACOL is pink there. There's also MLPH down here, and caveat emptor, that you do not really want to mess with those ones. There's no information. They haven't been posting their financials, haven't been keeping up with the how many shares are authorized or outstanding, how many are in the float, and there's very little information out there on those ones. But ACOL, this is a good start that it's pink, OTC pink, current information. Obviously, it's not quite as good as OTC QB or QX, which are the higher OTCB market standings. And let's see if it can keep a share price of over 1 cent per share for, I believe it's 90 days. I'll have to verify that. Then it can qualify for OTC QB as long as it also has all current financials and disclosures. All the security details are up to date. So we can look into what might have caused. First, before we even get into that, I like to go into security details. Here's this right here is, I kind of don't like this. 6 billion shares authorized with 5.2 billion already outstanding. And it's updated. Authorized hasn't been updated since 2016, which is not good. Outstanding shares, however, at March 2018. So that's a fairly current authorized or outstanding shares. That's a lot of shares to be outstanding. The float, which is how many shares are currently trading on the market, 700 million, which isn't a lot in OTC standards, but that hasn't been updated since 2015, so it could be quite a bit more than that. In order to find out more accurate numbers on these, we want to look in the financials and see what they're reporting in their most recent quarterly or yearly annual financials. So let's go through the news and see what they could have posted. See, this news hasn't been updated since 2015, which isn't good. You like to have some news of where the company's going to get some interest in the stock price. Here's a more recent one, June 18th, 2018. Ecology announces big LP order. Canadian market begins to move. So that could be what started that big move. Let's see. Yeah, it looks to be about a month ago, so that looks like it matches up fairly accurate with that big uptrend, a big jump in the stock price. Let's before we look through the news too much, let's look at the financials and see what they're showing. I like to see steadily increasing financials, which this one looks to be to 460,000 in 2014, 1.4 million 2015, 1.9 2016, 2.2 in 2017. There's still negative income from continuing operations, so they're still losing money, which isn't a big surprise in the OTC markets. 357,000 isn't a lot in this area to be negative, but I'd like to see some positive numbers there, obviously. But sales 1.6 million. Sales are slowly increasing here. They're not increasing a lot year to year since 2015, and they've gone up $100,000 per year, which is good that they're increasing, but still like to see it bigger. Let's see here. Let's look at the disclosures and make sure that they're keeping current there. That's from 2015, 2014. That's not big. Form 144. So this is notice of proposed sale of securities. Let's see what they're trying to sell here. So here's a more current. So they filed this form on, what was it, June 20th, 2018. Number of shares outstanding, 5.26 billion. That's a lot of outstanding shares. Number of shares, units to be sold. So they're selling 34 million shares, 34.5 million shares. Let's see who they're selling it to. They're selling it to an investment company. It's not a huge deal. This is the bigger deal here. The fact that there's 5.2 billion shares outstanding, that's not good. And the fact that they're taking on more equity debt it's going to further increase the outstanding shares and dilute the security. So I probably wouldn't. If I got into this one, it would be a day trade or a swing trade. I'd try and be in and out of it fairly quickly. I like that it's that the financials are steadily increasing each year, but and I see a potential reverse split here. They have to eventually reduce these numbers. They're not making enough money to make these make sense. $55 million market cap with 6 billion shares outstanding, $2 million in revenue. Yeah, I probably wouldn't trade this one, or I wouldn't get into it for more than a week max. So let's go back to here, and then we start over again, and you notice how that took about 5 minutes to either rule that one out completely, or we could put it on the back burner, and if we don't find anything else, then we could kind of see how this one trades on Monday or the next following trading day and go from there. Maybe it continues its uptrend, and then you can jump in and make a quick profit, or maybe find some good information and do some further due diligence and find out it's excellent long-term trade, or long-term investment rather. So then we continue to go down, and we will find another one to look into here shortly.